The gospel tells two stories that are kind of nestled one inside the other. Dr. Susan McGurgan suggests Russian nesting dolls. I'll leave a link to her reflection. It's really worth reading. And I'll just say something short that reflects on what I think might help our parish, our community, what kind of comes from my life this week. Because I wrestled with this story, right? Jesus is called to go and save a little girl. And on the way, he gets distracted because someone else needs him, and the little girl dies, right? And it made me reflect a lot this week about the times that maybe because of the pushes and pulls, and we can only do one thing at a time, and there's usually so many things we need to be doing. How often, right, does a little girl have to die because we get distracted doing something else? And I know that's not the exact meaning of today's story. There's this man, Jairus, who has always had the confidence to walk down the middle of the road, who can walk right up to Jesus and knowing that he will be answered, say, Lord, I need you to do this for me. And he knows that he's got 10 people around him saying, Jesus, you have to do this for him. And with great confidence, they set off to heal his daughter. And this other story of a woman who's been now so many years without a blessing, without access to the synagogue, without the ability to be in society, without making somebody unclean, without human contact, without a hug, 12 years, spending everything she has on doctors and finding no results, so used to being along the edges of the path, kind of trying to get out of everybody's way, never looking anybody in the eye, certainly not able to go to Jesus and ask for help, but knowing that somehow if she could just reach Jesus. And for some reason, he does two things. One, he stops when a little girl is dying to take care of this woman who doesn't have nearly as much standing as Jairus. In fact, we'd never find her name. And even though he does that, he hears them both. And I pray that in balancing those pushes in my life, I pray that I at least usually make the right calls. I was thinking this week, someone caught me after Mass, and I could see probably needed to talk. And she asked if I had a meeting, and I said yes, because I always have a meeting. And with kind of a crestfallen look, she said, I'll make an appointment. And I said, or I'll text somebody and cancel my meeting, right? Because it was a meeting about parish finance at one of the other parishes. And this was more important. And in life, some things are more important than others. And I used to think that I was unusually occupied and that my life was extraordinarily full because I was a priest. But I've had a number of people point out to me over the years that family life and children, that marriage and work all create plenty of pressure against a person's life. And that each of us have to decide, not just me, but each of us have to decide what matters most right now. Like, what do I need to do right now? What can I fix later, right? Jesus fixed the little girl. He even made sure they gave her something to eat. But he needed to be there for that woman right then. And so he was. And I would just encourage us to do a little of what Jesus did, to hear them both, to be present to both of them, to find a way to answer a need. I won't bore you with each of the examples of my life, but I've prayed a lot of examples this week, in which I'm not always sure that I made the right decision, but I did my best to honor all of those involved. And I would encourage us to always know what matters most right now, but to not lose sight of the ways that we can bless everyone around us.